when the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality. Open up those pages, it's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends, so join the book club by DLC.
Hello there, book clubbers. How you doing? I wasn't sure we'd see you this soon, but here we are. Hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. We're sitting here 1 week, exactly 1 week from Christmas Day. If that's what you celebrate, whatever you're celebrating this time of year, hope it's going fabulously. Hope you're dancing. I'm Jeff Cannata. I'm here with Lana Bachynski. Hi, Lana.
Hello. And what are the holidays if not shedding a few tears in front of your in-laws? I finished reading this chapter this morning because I'm a couple hours ahead from where I usually am at the breakfast table with my husband and my in-laws, my parents-in-law. What is that called? My father and mother-in-law.
In-laws, yeah.
And just sat there and they're like, how was it? And like just trying to keep it together. Being like, I just need a second to adjust this. And just shed a few silent tears before I'm like, okay, I can talk without just sobbing. So, woo, holidays.
Yeah, I texted you last night. Well, I'm crying again.
Classic. Classic.
We're going to get through all of it, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty exciting times right now. We are in the penultimate chapter of this entire 10-book series. What a time. What a time. Chapter 23. It's a big mamma jamma, and we're going to try to get through every last bit of it. It's just a single chapter today, and then that leaves us only one other massive chapter to end the Crippled God. Of course, as I mentioned, 1 week from today is Christmas Day. 1 week from that is New Year's Day. So not exactly sure when we're going to record that last episode, but wanted our holiday gift to you and to ourselves to be letting us read. We want to be able to read and enjoy it over the holidays. So finishing the novel will be something that I don't want to hold off on reading. That's the big problem.
And honestly, for me, selfishly, discussing without my impending first meeting of the day creeping up on us as we want to talk more and more and more.
Yes. I mean, you already know, if you're watching this, how long this video is, but I suspect it's going to be long.
Yeah.
And the next two are probably going to be long. And then it'll be a fun holiday thing for us to go back and look at all the spoilers in all of the Discord.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, let's jump in because chapter 23 starts.
Did you mention that we're not doing a non-spoiler?
Oh, yes. No non-spoilers. Spoilers starting now for chapter 23. There's just too much to get to, ladies and gentlemen. You understand. But we start chapter 23 with Talk, the younger, bringing a body to the bridge burners, to Iskar Jarak, Whiskey Jack himself, who's now the gatekeeper of the realm of the dead. He brings this mysterious body wrapped in a sheet or, wrapped in cloth. We don't know who it is. I don't know if you have any speculation as to who it is or what it is. It's kind of just thrown away right at the beginning.
I, for whatever reason, didn't speculate at all. I was like, yep, there's Talk. There's Talk. What a guy. Yeah. And just kind of breezed by it. If I would have thought harder about it, I feel like maybe I could have come to it. But at the time, I just didn't even think twice.
Well, he sees how many bridge burners are there in the realm of the dead. And Whiskey Jack is like, yeah, a lot of us have died, dude. That's how war works, bro.
And there's been a lot of them. I mean, how many of them there are? Yeah. I mean, the very first scene in Gardens of the Moon is like a bunch of them getting obliterated, right?
That's right.
So there's how many bridge burners with the same kind of ferocity and spice as the ones that we have gotten to know.
Yeah.
A whole bunch more of those we can listen.
As we start the series in Gardens of the Moon, most of them have already been wiped out. Like we're at the last surviving few, and even those get whittled down. So yeah. But Talk realizes, some common kinship with the fallen god, He says, you maimed me. I understand now. You maimed me outside the city of Pale. You hollowed out one eye, and then you inhabited that eye, made use of me, he says. Interesting.
What's interesting is how much we were like, yeah, puppy dogs. We were like, he's got like his wolf eye. We kept being like, it's like wolf eye guy. But
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Interesting. But he says, the spirits wandered in time and time again and made use of me, but now they are gone and only you remain whispering promises. Promises. Interesting stuff. So then we move, most of this chapter is, it seems to me we have two major, what's the word I'm looking for? Fields of battle. Field
Fronts,
isn't the word I was looking for. Arenas, theaters. That's what I'm looking for. Theaters of battle, right? We have what's happening at the Spire, and then what's going on with Tavor in the in the Glass Desert. So this entire chapter is building up to this massive battle, and here we start with Brother Diligence of the Forkful of Sail, preparing, looking out over the parish.
And you guys are good, right?
yeah. It's all gonna go. Well, that's the thing about the Forkful of Sail that is so funny is they're constantly like, this is gonna go great.
People don't know, like my voice, I'm so convincing.
Yeah.
There's no chance that they're gonna like not love what they're doing because I'm gonna tell them to love it. But you guys, you love it, right? You guys, good, thumbs up.
Yeah. And also, we got so many more troops. Like, what could possibly go wrong, man? We outnumber them so. Like, why are they even here?
The fact that they're even here just shows that they are weak of mind and they will be weak of body. They can't stand up to this.
No one has ever lost by being too confident.
There's one truth that I know.
So Brother Diligence is like, oh man, what's going on? Hey, Tanakalian, what's going on? He's like, well, there's this other group that showed up, the Balkando, the Gilk, the white-faced bar guys. He's like, what white-faced? What? Wait a minute. The old Forkful of Sail, we created a Barghast group that used to paint their faces white to try to look more like us. And guess what? They were like designed to fight us. They were born to fight us. He's like, what are they wearing? He's like, I don't know, just turtle armor. Turtle armor?
Our one weakness is tortoise shell.
That's what we designed us to we hit people with our hands. And the turtle armor, he freaks out. I love this little like background, like we created our own
demise.
That's right. Yeah. It's the best. It's so cool. It's just a fun little, it felt like it's just a fun little detail.
Where's Sister Karma at? Am I right, folks?
What's up, Brother Diligence? Where's Sister Karma? Amazing. All right. So speaking of sisters, Sister Reverence is at the spire. She's at the top of the spire, guarding the heart personally. She has personally chained it with her will, the heart of the crippled God. And she's like, man, everything kind of feels a little creepy right now. I'm feeling some rage out there amongst the people. I love the idea of her standing on the spire, just looking out like, hope nobody gets to me.
Yeah, I love the fact that it seems like the scene of like this brooding mastermind sort of reviewing their plan, feeling unstoppable and being like, and these blustery seas match the energy of this blustering battle. But then it's like cinematically thinking about like it being absolutely dead air near her.
Yeah.
And then looking out at the sea and being like, it's like so windy down there. It's not windy at her at all. And then her being like, it's not windy at all. It looks like a continuity error.
Yeah. It's like, why are all those ships getting all bashed about in the sea? There's no wind. There's no wind.
Yeah.
But before that, she's also kind of broods on humans. And I loved some of this where she's just like, humans suck. They are, she says there's no end to their capacity for cruel destruction. And the world will find a clean breath once they are all gone. And, as a reader, I'm like, you're not wrong, sister. You're not wrong, Sister Reverence.
But she's like, they no end to their cruel destruction. Anyway, back to my torture of this loose heart and cruel destruction.
Yeah. Well, they're caught up in their own self-righteousness, the Forkalasail. They're bringing justice to the humans.
Oh, yeah.
But I just like the fact that Erikson gives them a fair point. It's like, you're not wrong. Your methods are objectionable, but not wrong.
Your just a sense of self is objectionable.
Yeah. So she sees the ships tossed, realizes there's no wind down there. It's like, what's causing these ships to be tossed about in the harbor? The huge waves and stuff. And then we pop over to Grub, who's riding on his Kachencha mail alongside Krugava, and just like, hey, this is weird. This little dinosaur friend is like growing armor around my body, kind of enveloping me in this protective shell.
I love that.
So creepy and cool.
So creepy and cool. And even just him being like, you'd think it would be like really jostling on the back of this thing. Yeah. But it's a smooth ride, and so smooth that it is becoming a part of my body.
He's like, sure hope it doesn't envelop me completely. That would be bad.
But the way that it's described of like armor protecting like the weak spots that could be got from soldiers sort of stabbing upwards at him.
So cool. And like there's like a little backrest. It's very considerate Kachencha mail. It's just
a backrest, but it's also protecting the spine, protecting the neck.
Yeah. It's like your comfort is our concern.
Yeah. Baby. What's your safety rating on this thing?
Yeah. Is there like a creepy reptilian airbag? What we got?
Yeah, the lungs. It's like a toad. It just like.
But he's thinking back, and he thinks about his father, who's dead. And he says, he was never, a Kalam or a Stormy or a Gessler. He was just this average guy, but he lived up to what was asked of him. He was forced to be more than he was, he says.
I almost pulled that sentence. I don't know why I didn't, but just that single bit of being like, he was just a guy. He was just a guy, but he did everything he could and became more than he was. I thought was so lovely and hopeful.
Yeah. He also thinks like, I never knew my mom. I don't know who she was. Of course, we know that he didn't really have one. He was just sort of manifested on the battlefield, and he says, I'm going to be alone. He's like, I don't know why I left Sin. I don't know why, I went toward Brispedict and these other, I don't know what it was that made me do that, but I'm always going to be alone. And so then they meet up with Brice and Queen Aberstall and Spax and Erinict and this new character, Gilamada.
I was like, no way, a new character.
There's like 3 or 4 new characters in this chapter.
But Gilamada, Gilamada was interesting because wasn't she referenced by the Forkalasail when they were like, tortoise armor? What are you going to tell me next? Like Gilamada made it or something? Like, I think that they referenced her name just in the Forkalasail chapter. Some other Gilly. I assumed it was the same one because we saw it back to back, but I was walking on a treadmill, so maybe my mind was addled by activity. But I think she was some sort of person or maybe it was like a god or something. I forget what they had referenced, but she was, as soon as I read her name, I was like, oh, she's some powerful being that the Forkalasail are specifically scared of. But I might be conflating 2 different G names in a back-to-back.
She's Teblor. Yeah. So she's just like enormous. And I like much later, I know it's way, way, way ahead, but I like later when we get her like interacting with the other Teblor and she's the runt of the litter. She's just like enormous barbarian goddess. She's just like this just huge, terrifying thing. And they're like, well, you got to lead us because you're the prettiest, but
but you're
also the smallest.
Yeah.
It's very funny. But she is so great in this chapter because they're like, they're talking about what we're going to be able to do. Like, hey, Krugava, are you going to be able to get the parish? You're like, are you going to be able to reassert your command? She's like, I can do it. And they're like, well, but they have this magic, this
Acres Corvalane.
Yes, thank you. The power of the voice to compel you. And Kilimana is like, I tell you what to do. You pull your pants down, you shit on their face. I have spoken. Poop on them. Poop on them.
You have heard my word. And also, even the later, we'll get to it as well. But this whole scene, I tell you what to do. Like the stunted kind of English as we perceive their common language that they're speaking, so short, and her whole thing of being like, you're going to pull down your pants, you're going to shit on their face, and later being like, I'm a poet in my language. Like the most beautiful thing that comes out. And then, the last scene we really see from her is being like, shit on them.
But I also love that it works. I mean, it's ridiculous and funny, but it also works because she's basically saying, like, in your mind, defy them in the most direct way possible. Like they're telling you what to do, you shit on them.
I imagine it's also hard to talk with your mouth full of shit.
that too.
Practical and powerful.
Very funny. But Krugava feels confident that she'll be able to win the parish over. And so they're like, okay, here's what's going to happen. We need to keep them occupied as long as possible, because once they figure out that we're just a feint, that we're just a distraction, they're going to bolt for the spire, and we got to head them off at the pass and make sure they can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of this still, and the thing, we don't really see it in the chapter at all. All of this is still the army that we haven't really been hanging with. Adjunct and crew not present at all.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like two theaters, and we're just in this entire chapter is just in one theater of war, and it's exciting as all hell. But I kept thinking, like, what's that mean for everybody else?
Yeah, I know. They're gonna show up and be like, "Sorry, we're late. We are so tired."
Yeah, we literally walked across the unwalkable desert. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so they're like, "Hey, Grub, can you help out with any of the stuff?" And he's like, "I don't know. Sin did most of it. I don't know.
I'm just a little guy."
Yeah.
And they're like, "I don't think that she did do most of it, man." And he's like, "Well, I'm just tiny." I will say one of the things that surprised me is I've always pictured Grub as like a pretty young kid.
I think he is, yeah.
But then they were like, there's people talking about how he's like old enough to like take a tumble with and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, is he like more like 13, 15?
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
I wasn't thinking 8. I was thinking like 13, 14.
Oh, see, I was thinking like 8. And then I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's creepy either way, frankly. But
obviously. But he's still like older, more for like what happens with him and Brees later in the chapter that I was like, oh, okay, well, how about that?
Yeah. So then we pop over to Stormy and Gessler, who are this sequence is so awesome. They're riding the Kachinchamail. They're leading the army of dinosaurs, reptiles, and they are like, "What's that? There's a crazy weird army up in the. Who are they? Oh, who could they possibly be?" I can't remember which one, but I think it's Gessler is like, "You idiot! Are you blind? It's Talana Moss." He's like, "Talana Moss." Oh no.
Oh gee.
Oh,
how many are there? That looks like a bunch.
Yeah. So it's Tool and his army of undead badasses
of willing self-opted in recruits.
Yeah. And this whole sequence is just so awesome. First they're like, "Oh, hey, Tool, I happen to notice that you're going to the same war we're going to. Just curious which side you plan to fight for." And he says, "I'm still loyal to the Emperor. That we Logros, they thought we, lost our vow, and Olar Athil thinks is under the misapprehension that we are no longer loyal to the emperor, but I'm still loyal to the emperor. I'm still loyal to the Malazans.
I think it was that, when he became flesh and blood again, the vow was broken. But
Right.
then when he became Talana Mas again, you Talana Mas, the vow's still on, baby.
Yeah.
And so they didn't know that would be like reinstated or continue through sort of resurrection, death again.
Yeah.
And resurrection to Boneman again. So yeah, he's down to clown for the Malaz.
Well, it's funny because he's like, I'm still loyal to the Malazans. And Stormy and Gessler are like, well, yeah, but this army is dinosaurs, not Malazans.
But they are listening to us. Are you going to be nice to our dinosaurs?
And also the emperor's dead. So if you're still loyal to the emperor, like that provides a problem too. So like, what's up? Seriously, what's up? Like, are you, whose side are you on? And he's like, well, what is your plan? Why are you going there? And he's like, well, this is going to sound stupid when I say it out loud, but we're going to right an old wrong because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. And
he's like, I told you it's going to sound stupid. It's so great. And so basically they say, we're going to free the crippled god and send him home. Mm-hmm. And that resonates with Toole. He says, I understand. I see common kinship with the crippled god. We Talana Mas have been suffering for millennia, just like the crippled god has been suffering for millennia. We too have been chained in this way. And he has this really interesting observation. He's like, was the emperor casting a shadow from his throne? Shadow throne? I was like, that's cool. To protect us. He basically is like, he's like, okay, Talana Mas, seer, can you look into the future and see what we should do?
This is a whole scene that I pulled later.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I won't recap it too much, but it's so good.
Yeah,
so good.
He's like, seer, can you see the future? She's like, that ain't not how it works. So no. I can make a guess, basically, but they kind of, they end the scene with being like, "Yeah, we're on the same side. We're chill with the dinosaurs, and let's go."
It's so awesome too because we see it from Toole's perspective, and he's like, "Why are they crying at what I said?"
Why is,
like,
is everybody?
Because it's beautiful, Toole.
That was the scene.
Teaming up.
That was the scene where I was like at the gym, just like walking, like. Like trying to be chill. If anybody saw me, I would have just looked like I was really having a hard time on that treadmill.
Yeah. Just really getting it. Just
getting it. This incline, baby.
PR. We're getting a PR.
Get a PR.
So then we head over to Calith, who is with the other Kachentra male, and she has a conversation with Gunthmak. Who's like, she's like, you guys are giving me strength. And Gunthmak's like, no. You're giving us strength. Mm-hmm. It is seeing what the humans are willing to do gives us purpose and gives us strength. And, you and Stormy and Gessler have led us back to the living world. And then Sin walks up and she's like, I'm crazy.
Yeah, I know. They're like, eee.
She's like, the worm is burning. And it's like that. I don't understand any of that, but it sounds a little scary.
Whatever it is you're talking about, just like, you're like on our side though, right? Kind of.
Right?
Just
like, hold it together, Sin, please.
We won't get in your way.
No, you don't understand. You can't leave the fire behind. And that's the problem. That's what the problem with the lizards is. They tried to leave the fire behind. You need to be reminded of the fire.
She's like, all your camps, there's no fire at the camps.
That's not good. Please don't remind me of the fire, Sin. Please.
Please.
I don't need to be reminded of the fire. So then back to Reverence, who's like, there's so few of the enemy. Well, what am I not seeing here? And then like, on cue, a messenger runs up and is like, hey, there's an army of lizard people. And she's like, oh, no, the Naruk promised us they wiped out all the matrons. They're not supposed to be any matrons or lizard people to worry about.
Mm-hmm. And then I like this scene because she's like freaking out. Also, the person climbing up the stairs to where she is on the spire being like, and she's like, well, get going. They're like, yeah, girl, come on it. And they're like, just everybody is just at their the purest beck and whims, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, this is really tough because they promised that it wouldn't be here. I'm reaching out to another one of my brothers, and you know what? I don't hear their voice, but they got to get back here. And then it sort of cuts what I imagine just a little bit back in time to the brother that she's been trying to reach out to, and what the scene is, brother Diligence, and sort of what's happening with him. But I thought that was a nice little.
We got to get to Diligence to tell him it's a decoy before he reaches out. Cut to Diligence, like, here I come, walking up to Tanakalian.
I've got words for these folks.
Yeah. So awesome. And Tanakalian's like, okay, Setok, real quick before he gets here. Like, he's like walking up to talk to them. He's like, I got to tell you something real quick, just real quick. I didn't tell any of them about the Kachincha mail, so they don't know about that. Yeah. And she's like, what? He's like, it's not going to do us any good if the Forkless Sail win. We want everyone to lose. Remember, that's our whole plan, is everyone loses. And she's like, okay, well then let me ask you a question. Who do you fear more, Brother Diligence or the adjunct?
Yeah. Because the reason that she says something is like, I'm surprised this guy trusts you at all, like knowing what your like history is in obvious betrayals of people. Like,
everyone knows you're a massive jerk.
why are they giving any trust in you at all, let alone believing you're telling them the whole truth? I don't know. But why did you make this call? Why did you do this? Why did you betray in the short term? Like, what is the point here? And he's like, well, with immediacy, I'm more afraid of Brother Diligence. And she's like, immediacy is such a short-sighted thing. It is so foolish to give into whatever the immediate fear is. At the end of everything, like, the only thing that matters is what you fear at the end. Yeah. So at the end, what would you fear most? Yeah. And I loved that little.
It was so cool. Yeah. And then she's like, oh, do you fear Krugava? And he's like, Krugava's here? She's like, yeah, she's coming too. And then, he's like, well, the thing we need to worry about immediately is that dude walking up to us right now, and he's about to use the voice to make us do what he wants. And she's like, oh, really? Ow! Yeah. And she howls with 1,000 wolves, and it literally knocks Brother Diligence to the ground with the weight of all the voices. Mm-hmm. So
and
cool.
Like, basically unconscious. And then she's like, yeah, get him out of here. Get him out of here. And all the soldiers' ears are bleeding. Tanakalian is knocked backwards. Even she's like, well, that was crazy. There's so many voices. It was so loud. It's like ringing inside my body, my brain, all these spirits. And Tanakalian, to me, is like, it's all like, there's no wedding present, but he is being like a bridezilla, where he's basically like, it's my day. Yeah, it is my day. And anybody doing anything that he's like, that was pretty badass, and I hate that you did it. He's so the worst. Just petty weirdo.
I love how Setok is like, oh, you are assuming the wolves are. I did that, and I just saved our asses. But you're assuming the wolves are on our side. Guess what? Maybe you don't know as much about the wolves as you think you know, and maybe the wolves aren't on anybody's side. Maybe we're just on Wolf's side. And she's like, sometimes even wolves know the value of not fighting at all.
Yeah. He's like, and her internal thoughts are like, I just gave Tanakalian this gift to like opt not to not be engaged in this battle. There's a third option here, which is just like peace. Like, we don't have to be here. We don't have to do any of this. Yeah.
And then Krugava gets led over to where they are, and then we cut away to Faint and Precious Thimble, who are like, oh, this is bad. Look at all the armies getting ready. This is going to be bad for all of us. Mm-hmm. And Precious is like, that sorcery that's making me sick because I'm a sorceress, all that icky sorcery, that's not Forkless Sail sorcery. That's that little boy right over there. And
where is he? Where is he? Well, they refer to Grub, and they're like, well, I don't know where he is right now, but we should go tell them that it's Grub, and we got to get Grub in somewhere, getting rid of the sorcery, because it's like making everybody else ill, with him just being like, I'm just a little guy. I don't know what to do with all this magic.
Well, they talk about Grub in a really interesting, enigmatic way that I don't know if it's just sort of color or if it's going to come back in the final chapter and be a big deal. But she says, she's like, he's a Malazan. And she's like, I don't think he's anything.
Yeah.
She says, her quote is, can an idea find flesh, bone? Does it have a face? Is that even possible? Can people build a savior with handfuls of clay and withered sticks? If their need for a voice is so terrible, so demanding, can a people build their own God?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's presented as a question, but it feels like, well, what even is Grub? And what is he destined to be?
Yeah. There's like a couple of these conversations where it's like God references, it's still that YouTube comment from however long ago. It's rattling around in my head every time.
Yeah. But, I think we see Grub kind of step up into a new role very shortly. But I wonder if he's going to even have a bigger role to play at the very, 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 very end.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty massive. I mean, we saw him sort of manifested on the field of battle on the Chain of Dogs. And there's always been something special about him. So I'm curious.
And then we saw, the power that attributed to sin in.
Right. And he's the only one that could stand against that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, they walk over to Erinict and they're like, hey, can we help? She's like, yes, I'll add my sorcery to your sorcery so that we can maybe last a little bit longer. And she's like, well, maybe we bring that weird Boyle kid over here too, because he's got some weird, abilities to stand against magic. He possesses a natural disinclination to sorcerous attacks, she says. And Erinict is like, well, guess what? I'm sorry to say this, but all of my efforts are going to be on one person, and it's my lover boy. My lover boy. I'm going to be protecting my lover boy.
And then it's one of those things that I felt like could have gone either way, with Feint and Thimble being like, one guy, come on, what in the heck?
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of people here, but instead they're like, the power of love is so beautiful.
Yeah, Feint is like,
if only to feel love that way. I know.
Yeah. She's like, I love love too. I wish I had love. You know what? I'm going to help you. I'm going to protect your love. Can I stand with you? And Erin's like, sure, let's do it. And then we cut over to Brees, the said lover boy. And he has this amazing observation where he's like, we have this juxtaposition between the Forkle Sail, like forcing people to fight for them with their magic of their voice, using manipulation to get the armies to do what they want. And then you have Brees Benedict going, why does anybody even follow me? What is it about them that they're so loyal to me? We know that the cause is already lost. We're just going to die here and they're going to follow me. I don't deserve that. It's such a beautiful juxtaposition between the compelling people to fight against their will and inspiring people to fight for something, which I thought was beautiful.
And the Pures sitting behind and pushing everybody forward, being like, I'm going to throw so many things that you'll never get near me. And Brees being like, I don't understand this, but I know I have to be at the front. I have to be the thing at the head of this, leading this charge and showing them that I'm not asking them to do something I'm not willing to do myself.
Yeah. Then we cut back to Tanakalian and Krugava, who are arguing like always. And she is like, she's trying to inspire, or she's trying to sort of win over the parish who are standing behind Tanakalian, who are following him for now. And she's like, hey, guys, you know how you love wolves? Guess what? We're going to go try to, free the crippled god. He's been chained just like wolves are chained. Huh?
I love this scene because it like even like as I'm reading it, it feels like it's gonna be this big redemption moment for Krugava where she's like,
Yeah.
you chose this guy and he obviously sucks. Let's go. I'm not leading you astray. But the fact that it's written and even all the parish are still like, we let you through. We didn't like kill you on sight for being a traitor that Tanakalian painted you to be, but we don't trust you. Like convince us. And then she keeps talking. And it doesn't seem like it's necessarily that convincing even. Well, like some people are like kind of swayed, but like Tanakalian is like the fear of losing things is like driving him to a certain kind of madness. He's trying to be alpha.
Setok steps up and Krugava is like appealing to people's mercy. Like, just like a wolf, like a chained wolf, this crippled god has been chained. I'm here to do what's right to free him. And Setok walks up and she's like, why should we deliver mercy to anyone? We, the wolves, have not been the beneficiaries of anyone's mercy ever. She says, what do we know of mercy? We who have never felt its gentle touch. We who are hunted and ever hunted down.
And I love in that moment, Krugava is sort of like, oh, Tanakalian doesn't matter anymore. It's Setok who
that's so cool.
Matters.
She just like pushes him to the side. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. Anyway, but Krugava says, she replies, she says, you can say that, but we, the parish, are not actually wolves. She says there can be no worship of the wild without the knowledge of right and wrong. That the wolves don't know right and wrong, but we do. I just thought that whole debate is really beautiful, and I love the positions that they take. Yeah. And then Krugava is like, honestly, you think wolves are the masters of the hunt? Guess who's better at hunting things? These guys with the opposable thumbs. Yeah. Humans. And she's like, we have been hunting down and killing you for 500,000 years. Every damned one of you. You're not good enough at it.
It's interesting to see her argument go from this place of like trying to rally and the compassion, and then it almost sort of descends into like a bitterness and like this self-righteousness for like the position she's been trying to hold, and then overtly kind of against everything that they think their religion is. Yeah. It's interesting to see sort of the chaos swirling with these, especially because it feels like this could be the moment where, since the beginning of the books, or of the sort of the parish journey, that the recent Tanakalian parish journey, they're like, oh, we haven't had a destriant. We haven't had the third one.
Mortal sword, yeah.
We had the mortal sword, that's Krugava.
Destriant and shield anvil, yeah.
Shield anvil. We haven't had the destriant for so long, and now they finally have the destriant, the shield anvil, and the mortal sword. It should be this strength, this trifecta of like stability, of counterbalance. But the arguments are getting more and more volatile.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a good point. Yeah. And she it seems like she's like, you want to play? Let's play. You want to, like, I was appealing to the better side of your nature. If you say you don't have that, then guess what? The worst side of your nature isn't bad enough.
Yeah.
You don't got what it takes. You want to get with this mortal sword? I'll show you how vicious we can get. And Setok immediately understands what is happening, but the wolf gods don't. And then it gets bonkers, crazy, wacko. Because literally she's inside Setok. She's like, no, wolf gods, stop, heed her words. Can you not see the truth? You cannot hunt here. But they don't listen, and they start like manifesting through her. Coming out of her, killing her, and Krugava sees Setok transforming into this beast and like leaping at her to literally bite her neck and kill her. And Tanakalian stabs Setok with a knife in the throat.
Kalian's like, nobody leaves baby in a corner.
That's so right. It's so right. He's like, this was my day. Yeah. No. So he stabs Setok, then he slashes Krugava's throat, saying, this was supposed to be my day. Mm-hmm. Which crazy. And Krugava realizes that he has actually killed one of the wolf gods. Mm-hmm. And then Krugava has this heartbreaking final line where she falls to the ground and says, I wanted a better death, but then don't we all?
Yeah. And doesn't she kill Kalian sort of on her way out the door too? She is like stabbed in the neck, and then she's
yes. Yeah.
I think she can't talk because she feels like her lungs are filling with blood like lead, like the way that it's described.
She slices like the top dome of his head off.
Yeah. She gives like one...
Right through the eyes.
It's one of those things where she like stabs him or slices him in some way, but in a way you're like, oh no, he's going to get healed from that. And then she like cuts the whole top of his head off, and it's like, I don't think he's healed from that. But then all three, it's just this mutually assured destruction, which I just think is so interesting. It feels like for a group that praises these wolf gods, it's sort of like the fight for alpha, the fight for who's leading the pack. And in the wake, everybody's destroyed. It's like a self-contained prophecy of their own destruction of like nobody wins even in just this little section of what we're trying to do.
It's an amazing sequence because it is a fight for the it's a battle for the leadership of the parish to decide where they're going, and these three forces meet in the center and they all die, and then all the parish are like,
just imagine them like watching the whole time like, this is crazy.
I love it. So first we pop over to Breeze Benedict, who he's like looking down on the parish like, well, that looks weird. Like they all got together, and then did everybody fall down? What's going on over there? And
nobody's even facing combat. Like there's troops marching up this hill to go to battle. We're like ready to do we have to take them on? And they're not even looking this way. What are they doing?
Yeah. And then his horse starts freaking out. He's like, hey, what horse? And he's like up on the top of this ridge, and his horse is like reeling back. And then we cut over to one of the parish, a new character, High Cutter Syndican. And he's like, oh shit, I'm the leader now.
Oh man, I know I'm the elder. Oh God,
this sucks. I've like lived my whole life just healing people on the battlefield, living longer than anybody else because I'm just a medic, and now I got to inherit leadership. I don't know what to do. Everybody's looking to him like, who do we fight? Who do we follow?
What is the fight? Who are we fighting? Which direction are they? Like what?
Yeah, it's like all of the leaders are dead and in lumps on the ground, just bloody corpses, and he's like, look for a sign.
And it's like,
and then Priest on the thing is like, my horse is crazy. And then it's just so awesome.
It's so awesome because the timing of it is such that it's like they're over this ridge, so you can imagine it actually being quiet and being like, this is nuts, what's happening? And just like the thud of troops somewhere soon, and then sort of described as Breeze like busting over the top of the hill with his horse losing it, and then kind of riding away again, being like, what are you guys doing? And then leaving, and being like, I guess follow that guy. Look,
it's so great.
The jump scare of all of them.
It's just from a complete lack of any idea of what to say next. He's like, ask for a sign, look for a sign, and then just like random. Oh, it's so great. But it gets them purpose. They get purpose out of it.
Yep.
Amazing.
Whatever works. Any port in a storm.
That's right. So we cut over to Abrastal, Queen Abrastal, and she's talking to Spax, and she's like, hold back the Gilk. I know all of our soldiers are dying, but we have to stay. I know everybody. We want to support them. We want to, reinforce them. It's awful that they're all dying, but we have to hold back because once they realize what is actually happening here, we have to stop them from getting to the spire. And then our new friend, High Cutter Syndican, walks up to Aberstall and he's like, Kugava and Tanakalian are both dead. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm going to put all the parish under that dude's command because, like, his horse freaked out for a second. It's so awesome. And I love how we get it from Aberstall's perspective where she's like, what happened?
I guess good, but what?
Yeah. And he's like, so also, by the way, just BT dubs, like one of the Pures was going to use his scary magic to make us fight for them. But the wolf lady, who is also now dead, stopped that. But he's gonna wake up soon, and when he does, he's probably gonna do that thing that he was gonna do and make us fight for him. So you should probably deal with that too. Like, it's just so funny where he's just like, I mean,
Look,
I'm just
I
gonna
was
leave
just
this on your plate.
to not sweat in the wounds.
It's so great. And she's like, okay, you guys all go over that direction, get in the way of the Calancy army, and stop them from getting to the spire once they realize it's a decoy.
Yeah. And also, I will eventually put some more guys your way. And as they pass you, I hope that you're not offended and don't suddenly turn around like they're trying to get you. If my guys keep their eyes on you the whole time, it's just because we're highly suspicious of any of your motivations or ability to pick a side. And they're like, none taken.
Totally understand. Yeah. Amazing. Just amazing. I mean, like the dynamic of the battle is so fun in this chapter. It just, the way we get all of these weird forces bumping into each other, and it's just so great.
It's so great. And it is something that's interesting because the battle is happening the whole time.
Yes.
So
right.
all these things are happening and people are fighting and dying and piles of bodies are building up as they're trying to fight. And like the slog of it that's happening the whole time, where I don't remember what the end of the chapter is. A timely grandfather clock, but it just continues to like check in on the battle.
Yeah.
And then it says, it's barely noon. It's barely noon. We've barely made it past even one line or up to one line of this battle, and how many people have already died.
Yeah. Well, Brother Diligence does regain consciousness, and he finally gets, his cell phone goes off, and it's Sister Reverence going like, well, I've been trying to get a hold of you. Where have you been? It's like, I had lost coverage. She's like, this whole battle is a decoy. We're doing the wrong thing. I've been trying to tell you. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like 1,000 wolf voices knocked me to the ground. It's, one of those days.
I got dinosaurs over here. I don't even care.
That's
Get
right.
up.
That's right. And he's like, the parish have betrayed us. And she's like, Sister Reverence is like, I don't care. I'll use a crass Corvaline against them. We'll get them back on our side, but worry about them dinosaurs. And he's like, okay. So he heads off and starts murdering people. Breese's horse, meanwhile, is killed underneath him. The horsey that changed the tide of battle by freaking out dies. And then Brother Diligence attacks Breese with the power of a cast Corvaline, and uses the voice on Breese, and Breese is like, guess what, MFer?
That's
I got something
how
to
I heard
say
it
to
in my
you.
brain.
You're gonna use words on me? I got words.
You know what's more powerful? You want to know what's more powerful than just words? Names, brother.
Names.
Woo!
Such a sick moment where all of the forgotten gods whose names have been rattling around in Breese's head for several novels finally spill out. He starts naming all of these names, and I love how Erikson like lists a bunch of the names. This is like just really cool. There's a couple of really cool ones. I was like, oh, that sounds
lists
like
a bunch of names, and then one like Ikovian sounding. It's like, it's interesting.
So good.
Yeah.
And so they start basically attacking these gods that are now sort of made manifest spew forth, and they kill Diligence, Brother Diligence, as he sort of speaks the last name of the list, which is the forkless sail god, the forgotten forkless sail god. They turn their back on, and he's like, I've been waiting for this for so long. I'm going to mess up some forkless sail.
It's interesting because the power of it is like all these forgotten gods' names, and the idea that the book has played with of like remembering a god can bring it back. And it feels like bringing it back just long enough to have like a 1-inch god punch to the face.
Totally.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, this god that is getting vengeance on the people that turn their back on him or her. But Briss himself is sort of being pulled into this process as well. It consumes Brother Diligence, but it sort of is pulling Briss into this conflagration of death. And
tattoos, like he had like hidden tattoos that like glowed on his skin and then were ripping free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there's this like cloud of crimson death that he's kind of being pulled, he gets, absorbed into. Meanwhile, we cut over to Faint, who sees Erinict, who's like, my love is getting pulled into the crimson cloud of death. And she, no, the best, I said it wrong because it's so much better than what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What happens is he's getting pulled in. He's like, well, I guess this is it. This is how I die. And it says he feels hands grab him and he hears, not so fast.
Yeah. Not so fast, buddy boy. You think you're done with this? You think your job's done? Not in my life, it ain't.
You gonna get out of this relationship? I don't think so. So it's Erinict who has grabbed him with sorcery and is hanging on to him, but she is not enough on her.
Yeah, so she's back where she was. He's being pulled in. She, wherever she is standing, sort of back in the battle as Mage is being sort of back and protected, has a similar looking magical sort of conflagration cloud that she's being pulled into that's sort of growing and starting to pull her into. And Faint notices Erinict, and then she kind of puts the pieces together of like she's trying to get him out and she doesn't have the strength to do it. Yeah. And I can't let a love like this go to waste. And so Faint recognizes that there's like a water bubble growing around Erinict, or like that this chaos that's around her, she can recognize that it's Male's magic somehow, and knows that what gods need is blood. And so she slits her own wrists and pours her own blood into the bubble, filling the whole bubble with like drops of ink and water, making the solution fill. So now it becomes this red swirling bubble of blood and magic as they try and go through and pull him out. So she pops in.
I said it was crimson too soon. You're right. That's what makes it crimson. I messed that up too. But this whole sequence is incredible.
Yeah.
And then
but even Faint is not enough.
That's right.
So she goes in there, not enough. Precious Thimble's watching on like, man, these guys, I know somebody who could maybe do something about it. And she's like, Ambi, if you get in there and save their lives, Daddy, I'll be with you forever. He's like, be with me? She's like, I know you want this. He's like, want this? No, you're the worst. I never want to see you again. And she's like, okay, well, the best way to never see me again is run into that bubble. And he's like, okay. And she's like, what an idiot.
I love this whole sequence so much because first of all, we have this wonderful, like, I've got you. No, and I've got you. And I've got you. And who's got me?
Yeah.
Hey, lover boy. Remember how you're so into me and you wanted to do me for so long? I'm into it now. Like, just help me out right here. And he's like, ick.
Yeah.
I'm over you. Ick. And she's like, all right, well, then the opposite is true. I'm never going to leave you alone.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that she like threatens. Oh, you're done with me? I'll never be done with you. The only way to get away is to do this. And he's like, fine.
It's such a wonderful flip-flop because, we'd seen him pining away for her for so long. And then his brother dies and he's just like, no, you're nothing but trouble, girl. I don't want to be around you. And she's like, then fine. I'm going to follow you to your last dying breath. I'll be behind you always. She's like, the only way to get away from me is to run that direction. He's like, okay. So good.
And then it's by the power of them, the were they Mott irregulars? What are they with their built-in brass knuckles? Just the strength of his mysterious power sort of is able to physically yoink them all out of the sludge of magic and blood.
So cool. Yeah, and Faint is like, it has this really wonderful, or no, Sweetest Suffering has this wonderful line, the ghost of Sweetest Suffering is like, Faint has sliced her wrist and offered her blood to Mail. And Sweetest Suffering says, some laws even an elder god cannot easily defy, but he's trying.
Yeah.
So good.
I also love, Faint has Sweetest Suffering's voice in her head, this ghost that's been following her that she can see since her death. But the ghost voice sort of comes in and is like, oh, my love, this is something that you've done. And then she's like, Sweetest, is that you? She's like, I knew you loved me. I knew it. It's like she addresses her in a way that we haven't seen her address her. And the fact that she's like, recognizes her in the way that she does, she sort of accepts like, oh, I think you have a crush on me this whole time. Is sort of like a cute, sorry, I keep elbowing this table. It's just a cute little moment of their relationship. And then after this, the bubble pops and they all sort of splash out onto the mucky, gnarly battlefield. Precious Thimble runs over and quickly heals Faint. And then it's so silly and so cute to be like, I checked her pulse and it was Faint.
And she's like, she has that line and she's like, oh, something like, I can't remember how
it's like, I hate puns.
Yeah, no woman would ever respect a pun or something like that. That was very funny. Very, very good. And just the whole like cartoon line of each person holding the next person in line is just so delightful for a mental image for me. And them all going in a line and then Ambi pulling them out in a line. It's just so great.
Classic. It feels classic.
Very good.
And then on the other side, Aaron sort of cradling Brees and being like, now get back on the horse. The people need to see you, but don't die or I'll kill you.
She's like, don't go anywhere. Don't fight. Just sit on the horse so people see her on the horse.
And Brees, I think it's through the bubble, in the bubble right after this, like recognizing again Mail's magic. He's like, I don't know what it is, like why Tehal, why you've chosen this, why you care about this family, why you would spend this magic to sort of help save me in this time. But I'm not turning it down. I'm not saying no. I don't know. I don't know why, but thank you.
He's like, I know it's more about Tehal than it is about me. And he says, you've always treated him like a son or something like that. Or like,
like a son that if you would have had one, it would have been.
Yeah. So then we pop over to Grub, who's like, well, nobody's commanding these soldiers. I guess I can. I guess I'll do it.
This was the scene where I was like, isn't he like 8? No, I guess he's like 15.
Yeah.
Time has passed. Maybe he was that young when we first met him, but I recognize now time has passed and it just hasn't passed for him in my brain. But he's like, Brees told me to tell y'all back up.
Yeah, let's get out of here. And he thinks back. He says, the bloody road where I was born, where I came alive. I remember that world. I remember no other. All of the brave soldiers, I am yours. I was always yours. I thought that was awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right, then we have this funny scene where Abrastal is like, okay, Spax, now's your time. Take the guilt, take the Teblor, follow the parish, and while we hold the Calancy, as long as possible, you got to go to the Spire. You got to head them off. And he's like, okay, we're this is a suicide mission. We're going to our death. He's like, I got to tell you something before I leave.
One last quick thing.
I just, there's one thing to remember me with. There's one lasting image you want to have of me. It's me telling you I totally banged your daughter and I knocked her up.
You're welcome. Spax! He's going to be a menace. Woo! And Aberstall being like, I promise that no matter the gender, I'll name it Spax.
Just the most beautiful name for a boy or a girl.
For anybody.
Spax.
Spax.
Yeah. It's awesome. He's like, you'll know it because it'll have my eyes. Specs out, you know. And then this messenger runs up from Brees, and he's like, Brees is on his way with 2/3 of the army to help out. And she's like, okay, well, can you just take a break for a second, and then can you go back? And so he's like, no breaks. He's like, I'm out of here. And she's like, okay, I guess these guys are awesome. They don't need breaks. They're just riding off. And then Brees sees Grubb like commanding the troops, and he's like, that is my second in command. If I go down, we all follow Grubb.
I also like that people were kind of like, hey, that kid was commanding the troops. And he was like, oh, good. Now he's officially doing it, but I'm glad that somebody was.
Yeah, he did a great job at it. In fact, you know what? I'm promoting him. Yeah. Just because you made a big deal out of it.
And I like that Grubb was kind of like, I did this. It's okay. Okay, I'll keep doing it. He's like kind of resigned, kind of nervous. He has like this interesting energy of like he's doing the only thing that he can do, that he feels like he can do. But it also feels almost like a pressure release valve because once you've resolved to do something, there's not more question. It's just you're doing the next thing you can do. And it feels like there is a tension release for him in having a job to do.
Yeah. So then Faint tells Precious Thimble that the Clancy are going to attack, and Precious is like, well, it's the mixed bloods that are making the Clancy fight. So they're able to, use some Akrast Corvalane in some capacity, and they're forcing them to fight. And Faint's like, we got to tell Brees Beddict about this. So she runs off to tell Brees about that so that he has a plan as to how to stop that from happening. Then there's a bunch of fighting. There's a high-watered Festian is leading the Clancy. The Parish are defending. There's a lot of awesome battle stuff. And then we check back in with Guillemata, our Teblor lady. This is where she, tells Spax that his language is clumsy and that she usually speaks in poems and songs. And meanwhile, Spax is like, oh man, I haven't done war in a while. I usually just hump younger girls, and my body aches. This sucks.
I like how everything starts with him being like,
go on ahead. Go on. I'm fine. I'll be fine.
I'll be fine. It's just I got bit real bad. It wasn't like a sexy thing, but she bit me right in the dick because she was so pissed about being pregnant. She's fine. Everybody's fine.
It's fine. But it hurts to walk and move. Oh, it's so great. Where he's just like, I'm too old for this shit. He's doing one of those. Just everybody, keep fighting. Go. I'm right here. I'll be fine. Just go. I'll get it. They're like trying to climb up this embankment. He's like, everything hurts.
Oh yeah. They're like, we got to get into our defensive position. They're climbing up the hill. They're like, all we're doing is climbing up a hill. What kind of hill is this? And then they get up there and like the army that they need to be slowing down is like already right there. They don't even have a chance to catch their breath after like clambering up a hill in full armor. Yeah. And then they are immediately engaged in battle. And I think it's pretty quick that they're like, man, we can't even slow them down. There's like so many of them.
Yeah, we're going to fail. They're going to get to the spire. We can't stop this.
There's nothing we can do.
And I've never felt more, seen though with the old guy who can't hang anymore. I was like, I feel that. So he realizes they failed. They're not going to be able to hold the Clancy back. And much of the Clancy aren't even attempting to fight. They're just ignoring the whole battle and rushing toward the spire. They're like, we have one goal and one goal only. He's like, we're not going to be able to stop them. Even with the Gilk, even with the Teblor, we're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah. And I think it's throughout kind of all of this, people are noticing like the reason the battle is so grueling is like normal soldiers will take time to recuperate, to recover, to chill. But because these soldiers are all being compelled by the voice, there's like a manic look in their eye. They will fight until you cut them down with no need for break, or their body gives out because they are being compelled to do so. They don't have an option.
Right.
And so it's kind of like fighting. It's like fighting robots in a way. Yeah.
Zombie robots. Yeah. So then we cut away. We cut away from our battle. We've been deep in this battle. It's raging all around us. And we cut away to Darujistan, where Karsa Orlong has been standing, waiting for the right moment, standing there in the middle of the town, standing there staring at this temple where people are like just going to work. Like, hey, man, there's like a 12-foot tall barbarian in the middle of the city.
Yeah, like the cops come by, they're like, is this like a street performing thing? Like, are you going to do the
coffee
robot?
Right? No, I guess I don't need coffee this morning. I'm good.
We have like a cart. We just need a little. No.
No.
We'll
no, I can use a different street. It's fine. I'm good. Yeah. But he has this awesome rumination on cities versus villages, and I think both of us basically quoted this entire sequence, which is so good. Mm-hmm. So we will get to this at the end of the show, but it's awesome. And this moment is amazing because Munug pops in and he's like, hey, Karsa, it's time. And, but he's all decrepit and kind of dying. And Karsa says, you will not die alone. I will not let you die alone. And he picks him up in his arms and he says, he does a thing that is very unbarbarian-like. And I think that's what makes this sequence so beautiful, is that we know how far Karsa has gone individually, but also that the notion of the quote unquote primitive peoples maybe have more basic humanity and compassion. And, I thought this was exquisite.
Yeah. We didn't pull like the last bit of this section because we want it. It's like a 4 or 5 page section, and I think originally we highlighted it all, but we cut it off. But the part that's so beautiful is like the whole time Karsa's like, I want to destroy civilization. I want to destroy civilization. And then you hear about the wolves being like, we want to destroy civilization. And you're like, is this the same kind of thing? That him breaking it down to sort of saying local communities, stuff like this doesn't happen. You don't have the luxury of just letting people die alone in the street and ignored. You take them in and you're with them because they matter to you and your community and to your people, like, no matter who they are. And
there's no anonymity in a small village. And big cities allow you to just ignore the things that are distasteful to you.
Yeah. And he's like, but I'm not ignoring this. I will be your village of one. I will be here with you. I will hold you till you're gone.
Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so then we pop back over, and the Kachin Shamail, the Talana Moss, they're having this fight at the spire. Sister Reverence is watching from the top of the tower. She's using her sorcery to keep the Calanci fighting past the point of even collapsing.
She's got one eye on like an ice ramp being built, and she's like, probably nothing. Probably nothing. It's fine.
Yeah. She knows there's more reinforcements on their way, so she only has to hold out a certain amount of time before that Festian character comes with more reinforcements. She doesn't know how Brother Diligence was killed, how the matron is still alive, how they managed to breed so many Kachin Shamail without them noticing. And she's like, you know what? After we win here, which we're totally going to do, I am going to figure this out. I'm going to find there's other Pures in other parts of the world. We're going to like have a reunion, and then we're going to get in some old-fashioned cleansing. You know what I mean? It's going to be an old-fashioned Forkless Ale cleansing party.
We want to finish up all the genocide we started.
Yeah.
We don't want to leave our business unfinished.
And she's like, you know what? This is all going to be, I got plans. This is all going to go away. What's all that ice? And the base starts to freeze over. And she's like, Omtos Falak.
Oh, that's at the end of the scene. I jumped the gun on that one. Yeah. She's like, but even then she's like, I'm still up here. There's like, it's one eye on it, but not necessarily serious concern because it's so. There's too many things to think about.
Well, she's like, I don't understand how Amtus Falak can even be wielded. Like that's the Jagged are extinct.
Yeah.
Only the Jagged can wield this kind of power, the icy goodness, and the Jagged have been wiped out. So what is even happening? and if we knew there were Jagged, we would have found the threat and we would have destroyed it. Makes no sense.
We're so confident that we killed all these people already. There's no way.
It's impossible. I don't believe what I'm seeing. Cut back to Gessler, who's watching the Talanamas fighting, slaughtering Clancy. But even he is like, there's so many Clancy. Even with the unstoppable force of the Talanamas, even with all the Kachin Shamail, we might still be overwhelmed, but just on pure numbers alone.
And simultaneously having thoughts like, I get it, you're good fighters. And then catching himself being like, why do I care? Why does that matter right now? They're on our side. Thank God. Whatever.
Yeah. It's like, it's not fair. It's totally not fair. I don't like it when people cheat, like become undead and unkillable.
What, just because you're like made of bones and you don't feel pain like I do, you think you could just like be a better fighter? Like if I had those advantages, I would be a better fighter too.
Yeah. I hope that they get overwhelmed. But wait a minute, what am I saying? They're on my side. It's so very funny.
And then just describing Tool as fighting at the sort of the front of that push.
Yeah.
As being a cloud of red mist just surrounds him.
It's just so disturbing, the idea. I mean, it was almost sort of like the it reminds me of the Penny and Domin, like this, like this force is just throwing bodies at the problem because they're out of control of themselves. There's no self-conscious. There's these
mindless kind of hunger.
It's just so brutal and terrifying, and they're just wading into their death. Gross. And we cut over to Gunth Mock telling Calith this very thing. She's like, well, they are fighting under a geese, as I hear pronounce that, geese, the sorcery. They have been, their minds are not their own, and they're not going to stop. And the Kachin Shamail will tire. They will collapse at a certain point, but the Clancy will not. She says that maybe Calith can try to, communicate to them in their mind, and so that they break off and stop, trying to do this like unbeatable battle.
Yeah, I think this is when she's like, you have to maybe try and communicate to them that it's just the water, that's just these people, and that they can't, just making sure that they understand why they never tire, like giving them context for the battle that they're against. So
then Gessler, this is the part where Gessler's tattoos start burning, and he's like,
oh, it's Gessler's tattoos start burning.
Yeah.
I thought Bruce had some kind of tattoos that flew off him.
I think that might be true too. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Anyway, he has this revelation. He's like, the Talanamas, like Kellenved, when he was emperor, he commanded the Talanamas. He could do whatever he wanted. They are an unstoppable fighting force. He commanded so many more than are here right now. He could have literally conquered the entire world. And the fact that he didn't is actually, speaks to his character, and that he basically decided to command them so that nobody else could.
Yeah. And like never let them loose because of the potential for destruction that they could wreak.
He was like, I will be in control of this unstoppable army, and I will command them not to fight, just so that I know that they, nobody else will do that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so then, Gessler's like, Tool, let's go. There's reinforcements coming. We got to stop them. There's a pure in the tower. So be worried. I don't know if the Talanamas can be manipulated by a Crass Corvaline as well. And we cut over to Reverence, who's looks up and there's this storm in the sky, and she's like, a god has been summoned.
This is such a crazy section of this thing. It really is like we have this convergence of all these things, and suddenly, dun, 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 Fenner's here.
Dude.
Yo.
It gets real anime real fast in the coolest way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, there's a movie that came out this year, an animated movie called Ninja 2. It actually is the highest grossing movie ever of all time. Highest grossing, maybe animated movie. I think it might be. It's a Chinese movie that made so much money overseas. It's like it made billions of dollars. The most successful movie ever among them. Anyway, I saw it. I don't think it's a great movie, but it has the size and scale of this moment. And it made me think of Malazan when I was watching it. Cause I've never seen anything with the size and scale. It's only ever existed in my imagination. And this is an animated movie that does that.
Yeah.
This whole sequence is just insane. So Fenner is being called down from the heavens, basically. The god Fenner is like there's enormous tusks come out of the clouds, announcing the boar of winter, boar of summer coming down. Then we cut to Karsa Orlong in Darujistan, who sets Munug's body down, kicks open the temple door, raises his flint sword, and strikes at the tusk on the altar, cutting it in half. Then we cut back, and Onos Tulan is like, I remember when I was a boy. He's like, go ahead.
But doesn't he look up and he's like, oh, that's wacky.
Yeah.
But then he sees a flint sword. He's like, that's like our swords.
An enormous flint sword, enormous in the sky, cutting through the clouds, cutting through Fenner, and then waves of blood spilling out, gushing down like rain from the heavens.
Falling and filling the trenches.
God, rattling their bones. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, I interrupted you. The blood gushing out and falling in waves of it, filling trenches, and then falling continued falling like rain from the sky.
Yeah,
it's insane and gruesome picture of this fight around this spire and giant boar man, giant knife, blood rain. It's so epic in this. Through this already harrowing fight, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy. The idea that you would be fighting, and you look up and the entire sky, an enormous god-sized sword cuts through an actual god, and it, blood starts gushing down. It just completely drenches everyone in gore and blood. In the spire, Sister Reverence looks over. The crippled God's heart is pulsing and surging with life, but she's like, it's still chained. I still got it. We can still handle this. In fact, I'm going to use the God's blood to empower Akrast Corvalane and be even more potent. I'm going to use them. Everybody's like, I can use the crippled God.
They teed up using magical blood so much through the shake fights all the way here. Suddenly there's god blood on everything, and anybody who has a sense or an ability to use it starts using it. And some people very much against their will. Yeah. So one of the parts that we forgot to sort of tee up here is, going back a little bit, Caliph does reach out to people in the battlefield, and they say to Lana Muss, you got to actually go bolster this other side. You got to go fight more directly with the Kachin Shamal for the real push on the other side. We're going to try and hold it off here because y'all can run, fight your powder. You can go turn into dust and come back again. And the dinosaurs can run really fast. We're humans. We're going to make our trudge up this way, but don't waste your energy on this. Go to the other side. And they literally, right before the god gets slaughtered, they're all kind of looking up and they're like, here's a battle, and it's a tough battle, but we're gonna fight it. And then suddenly god blood's raining from the sky. Tool looks down at his legs, and the bony skin dried out, miserable, suddenly thickens up into his normal, muscly, very mortal body. And he's like, oh, this is really bad timing.
Dude, that line of, I'm immortal again. The timing could have been better. It's so great. Yeah, I think I also skipped over a huge thing, and it hurts my heart that we did. Because isn't there that amazing moment where like all the different sides that have hated each other, or is that coming up, where they all turn and they're like, well, let's all, I am your brother now. Is that happening later, or did that happen already?
Oh, shoot. I pulled it as like a whole quote that I'm going to read later. So at the very least, we'll cover it there.
So good.
That was like way before the battle. I think we intentionally skipped over it because I was like, I pulled this quote.
Oh, okay.
So
that's an amazing sequence. Anyway, so Caliph is like, hey, Gunth Mock, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know. I don't know. There's always this weird thing, rituals and blood, and this is scary. And she's like, oh, that's not good, when the matron is terrified as well. And then Sin walks out bathed in blood, just like this, completely sheathed in blood, skinny and scary as hell.
And she stripped all her armor off. So she's just like all of her skin naked to the sky that she can get coated in blood, as she has gotten coated in blood.
Yeah. And she's like, disengage the Kachain Shamael. They're too exhausted. Your girls got this. Then we cut over to the Talana Moss, and dude, the notion that they all became flesh and blood, but they forgot what it's like to be flesh and blood, and they're still fighting like unstoppable undead warriors.
They don't know how to protect themselves, but Tool,
because they never had to.
Yeah.
For millennia, they haven't had to worry about that.
Because Tool was human recently enough, he does know how to do it. And then they're trying to like retreat in this time, but even like in their sort of like backing off to try and recover, because they're like, we're people now, we got to figure it out. They're just getting chopped down, and like the sweetness, the absolute bitter sweetness of everybody, a lot more bitter, being like, this is who would ever give this up? Why would anybody ever give up this feeling of just living, of just existing in a body?
You say bitter because that's Bitter Spring, who is one of the Talana Moss. We skipped ahead a little bit, but
sorry.
So
we can pause.
Tool is like, this, what bitter irony to be made to come back to life only to be murdered moments later because you didn't know what it was like to be mortal, and he's like kind of mourning all of his kinsmen who've been given this great gift from the blood of a god, but don't know how to protect themselves. Then we have we have a few different scenes before we get over to Bitter Spring. We have Gilly and her troops, fighting in the rain of blood. The Kel hunters are seeing the Jagat and Amos fighting side by side, and they're like, we're inspired, we're exhausted, but the Jagat and the Talana Moss, like all these ancient races that have been, historically at war with one another, are fighting side by side. We can also charge the enemy.
The Jagat show up, and so as the Talana Moss are retreating, they're like, yo.
I love how they're still like cracking wise when they arrive,
They're like, it looks like we're human again. Like we're flesh and blood again too. Pretty cool. Like, yo, lady who was like, are you hot? You said you was hot. She's like, I was lying. And they're like,
Yeah.
And they're like, we're all flesh and blood now. But are we going to spend these last moments that pretty clearly are going to be last moments on the retreat? I don't think so, baby. We could go forward.
Let's do this.
They turn everybody around, and they could change them all. They're like, well, pretty badass. And so everybody's pushing again.
Yeah, the 14 Jagat, the Talana Moss, the Teblor, the Kel hunters, like everybody. It's the team up of all team ups.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Yeah, and then we cut over to Bitter Spring, who's one of the Talana Moss, and she's like, did I just waste having life again? She's like, no, even this brief moment of being mortal again was worth it. It is a gift. No matter how short-lived your life is, it's a gift. It's a gift to have lived even the briefest of moments.
Mm-hmm. And I just loved her talking about like loving it so much, feeling herself bleeding out.
Yeah.
And thinking like, who would ever willingly give this up?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I know, like I did. So
yeah, our entire race did. Yeah. Our entire people did.
Wow.
Yeah. Then we cut away from this massive, incredible, epic thing. It's Shir Kalel and Falash are like, Hood just left and just started walking that direction. Like, should we follow him or what do we do?
How stable it looks pretty slippy. And Falash is like, yeah, and Amjas Falak is like done. So
yeah.
All of it's gonna start melting too. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, what? Oh, so we should hurry? And she's like, yeah, it's like really annoying when everybody stops to complain all the time.
So great. And Shirk is like, oh, I should have followed Hood just so I wouldn't have to be around this bee.
Yeah, I should have followed Hood. But then, like, and isn't Shirk sort of thinking all the million ways she could die depending on what she does? She's like, I could do this, or I'd get chopped up.
Yeah,
by
they get
Falash's
chopped into a million pieces. Yeah, so great. So then we cut over
does Shirk become? I don't think it's clear whether.
No, she's not under the. They're not under the rain
blood.
Of blood.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. They're over on the frozen sea.
Yeah.
You know.
I wasn't sure if
it's melting. It's like it's melting. It's melting, and we're leaving. Shouldn't we stay here on the boat because when it's melting? Yeah. So then we cut over to Talk, who is watching Tool fighting, seeing that he has been made mortal again. Seeing all the Talanomas getting slaughtered, and he turns to Whiskey Jack and the bridge burners, and he's like, please, you can't let this happen. And dude, epic line, Talk younger. Did you truly imagine that we would say no?
Ooh. Ooh.
So good.
It's so good. And he's like, anyway, roll out. And then
yeah, bridge burners, roll out.
It is one of those things where I feel like Talk is like, well, I guess by the fact that you didn't do anything like yet made me think that maybe it wasn't in the cards.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
very badass.
So
let's
rad.
go.
So a god has died. Blood is raining down. Ice sheets are rising. Torrent is there like, what? Kids, run. Just run inland. Get away from all this. You gotta, save yourselves.
Yeah, because Olar's distracted by all of the chaos.
Yes. And has been reborn by the blood of the thing herself. She's now a young woman. And he realizes, goodness, she did all of this because she just is in love with Tool.
Yeah, because she's like staring at the sky, becoming young, feeling her like this mortality return to her. And she's like, this is going to be so great. I'm going to look so hot now. I'm going to find him.
Up. She got a glow up from the gods.
Glow down, maybe, if we think about it. And she's like, I will find Tool. I'm going to give him this gift, and I'm going to give him his kids back, and then I'm going to give him even more kids. And we're going to rule together as these. And Tara's like, more kids?
He's like, this is what you wanted the whole time? This?
And the petty, like just like looking at like all of the destruction that she caused.
Yeah.
Because of this like selfish gains and like, I want him for me is disgusting.
You just were hot for Tool this whole time? That's the whole reason we did all this? And so then this like fissure opens up in the ground and he falls in it and he gets his legs get smashed by the fissure.
Well, he falls in the fissure because she's like, where are the kids? And he's like, I lost control. There's so much chaos. They ran this way. They're so scared. We have to chase them. And so he pushes.
Well, he lies. He says they got that away.
And he runs with her to convince her of it.
Yeah.
So they run into the more dangerous icy slopes which then
Right.
he ends up sliding down and falling in this fissure fast enough that his legs catch in it, and he keeps going and snaps both his legs off. And then his blood immediately freezes in the fissure.
Ugh. But he's like, I'm fine. Merely a flesh wound. I'll be fine. And she's like, ha, you're going to die. He's like, no, I'm just stuck. Just pull me out.
The kids are, I'll tell you exactly where the kids are. I still know where they are. Definitely. Just pull me out and we're going to get the kids. And she's like, you can walk. And he's like, totes.
Oh, so I can walk so good.
And
so
then she
good. Don't worry about me.
Unsheaths his legs from his lower legs from his flesh. And she's like, you liar. Your legs are all busted from below the waist. He's like, yeah, but the kids, though, they're definitely...
He's like, they're right over there.
Right there.
They're right over there. Look. And then he grabs his bow, pulls it back, shoots a shot. He's like, that even Talk would have been proud of, which is a cool moment.
Sweetie.
Right through her youthful eye. Touches the back of her skull. Ugh.
Hits
the
the
way
back
it's
of her skull and
described
the
is
arrow
so good.
shatters. The arrow of justice. Yeah.
But then he dies as well. An amazing moment where, he sacrifices himself to save the kids, kill Olar Thil.
And even as he's crawling towards the bow, he's like, I promised that I would protect them.
Epic death for Torrent. So back to Gessler and Stormy. They watch as the Vagath are pulling back. They're scared because they see blood-covered Sin walking toward them. And they realize even the Kachincha male are terrified of her. She raises her hands and conjures a wall of fire. She's like, I got this, guys. Everything's cool. I'm good. Pushes the wall forward. It just incinerates the Calanci. Horrible, burning flesh, massive wall of fire. Stormy and Gessler realize everyone's going to die. She is going to get the crippled god's heart, which will amplify her own Talon firepower. And
she's only going to use it for herself.
Right. She's going to burn the world, basically. She's going to, with the amplified power of the crippled god, she will be able to literally incinerate everything. And guess what? We're the only two dudes that can walk through fire, the fires of Talon. Or Tellan.
Awesome.
Amazing. Cool setup and payoff many, many, many books ago. And so literally they're being, Stormy is literally being healed and he's like, stop healing me. We got to go.
Does this not make you think, though, when they're like, we're the only guys who go walk through fire, and I'm not going to be able to pull his name. Started with a B. He became the guy with the two swords.
Your favorite guy that you keep thinking is going to come back from.
Well, it's not. He did come back briefly.
Yes, right.
But he was also bronzed out like these guys, wasn't he?
Yeah. But he got killed.
By fire.
Yeah.
I was like, are they going to be like, we can do it? And then they're like, oh, no, we can't.
Guess what? One of them does get killed by fire.
Yes, but that was a different fire. That was special fire, bad fire, extra bad fire.
Well, I think that's the same thing with our bee friend.
Oh, maybe it is the same.
Yeah.
That's true. But I just remember being like, are they going to do it? Or are they like, we got this? Oh, no. But they do withstand it. They do withstand it for the initial.
It's an amazing moment. Gessler's like, he turns to Calith and says, hey, teach the lizards only the best of humans, which is this amazing moment.
Yeah.
And they leave and they're still like arguing, like, you called Fenrir down. No, you're the idiot that called Fenrir down.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Because they both were followers of Fenrir when we first met them. And then
I think we had a moment in an earlier chapter where they literally prayed to Fenrir.
Yeah.
And so it's funny. They're still, they're still being them.
Was
still
Fenrir
arguing.
able to come down with such a vengeance because Gruntle died?
Oh, interesting. Maybe. Yeah. And so Calith is like, watches them walk through this wall of flame. And she's like, hey, Gunther, so far you've really known nothing about what's going on. Do you know anything about this? And Gunther is like, still no. Don't understand it either.
Amazingly.
But guess what? You did a good job picking these guys, and I would follow those dudes into a firestorm myself.
Yeah, if I could, I would be in there.
Yeah. So great. I mean, this whole ending is just, the ending of this chapter is just epic thing after epic thing. It just keeps one-upping itself.
Yeah.
And then we cut over to the POV of a little doggy. Our little doggy.
I was like, something that I won't remember until you told me.
Bent is like, Master's going through fire. I can't go through fire. I go this way in the icy area. I'm gonna go loop around and get to my master to help him out.
But even so, that's so messed up. They're so singed.
Yeah,
like they were near enough to the fire that it's described as they're even more scarred up and messed up from everything as they're going around. Yeah. Puppy dogs, loyal doggies. So Gessler and Stormy are climbing the tower. They see Sin ahead of them climbing the spire. She's so in her own world, just slowly walking menacingly, knowing that she can't be stopped, doesn't even pay any attention to them. And this is when they realize that she's going after the heart herself. And they're like, this sucks. This is like old shit. This is old shit. This is a war that was going on well before we existed. And why do we get pulled into it? This is Talas versus Akras Corvalane. This is like bigger shit than we should have to worry about. We didn't start this war. Why do we got to fight in it? I thought that was great. And they and then they kind of look at each other and they're sort of realizing what it is they're about to do. But if they look at each other, spend too long lingering on what the near future holds for them, neither of them will be able to do it. So they kind of are like, all right, we got jobs to do.
Yeah.
You know what you got to do, and I got to do mine.
Yeah. And this god's heart was stolen, and that's not right. And we got to do what's right. And so they're climbing. They get close enough where Stormy grabs Sin's ankle and is like, yank! Yeets her right off the side of the tower.
Yeah.
And he's like, immediately he's like, we weren't high up enough for her to die. That's not good. That's not good. She's going to survive this. That's not good.
Yeah.
They like see her falling and she's just angrier as she's falling down like, and so Stormy's like, all right, you get to the top. You kill the forkerless sail up there that's protecting the heart. I'm going to deal with Sin, knowing it's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
And they like look at each other one last time. It's just this amazing moment.
Yeah.
So good.
It's if you lingered on him too long, it says something like it would break them both.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Sin, it feels like she gets back pretty darn quick, but like her arm's broken, her like skin is shredded from impacting these rocks, but her coming up and the rage that she feels for Stormy, being like, you don't touch me. Nobody touches me.
She's gone full dark side at this point, but she, obviously we know what
has happened.
Injured her as a child, and she's right back in that. And like, nobody touches me. Yeah.
Yeah, and that being her core motivator, and I think we see the conclusion of this little story immediately.
Well, first we pop over to another interesting POV. It's Hood. Who also is headed to the spire, walking on ice and feels the ice crack. He's like, well, now I'm mortal. That's crazy. Because the blood has made him mortal too. And he's like, isn't it ironic that now I can die? I should know more about death than anybody. And yet I don't know anything about death. What's death like?
I also like that he's like walking up this ice hill to the spire. And then there's like a gap because the magic gave out. Yeah. And he's like, I gotta jump. That's undignified.
It's undignified, but also he's like, I could die for the first time ever. Like I could and I don't even know what that's gonna be like. I'm the guy that people see when they die, and I don't even know what happens.
Yeah, and then
So great.
meanwhile, he's like, "Hey, guardians of the gate now,
Yeah.
you who have known so much death, you who have sent so many to their deaths. I hope that you are able to offer people more meaning than I was ever able to."
So great. So great. And then we have this amazing sequence where he like it's so cinematic. It's that movie thing where you jump and you hit the side and you're holding on to the to the edge, and then he's like and then a dog walks up and he's like, "Don't do it, dog. Don't do it." And then the dog like leaps over and he's like, "Okay, good. Dog didn't do it." And then a second smaller dog, he's like, no. And that one leaps and doesn't make it, but bites his leg. And he's like, "Get off me, dog." And he flings his foot and the dog goes soaring across the gap and then just scampers away. And he's like, "Fucking dog."
I love that he pulls himself up and then he has to, because now he's mortal too, he has to limp the rest of the way. Is very funny.
Amazing sequence. I mean, it's so cinematic. I see every shot of the movie in my head.
Yeah, me too.
Incredible. So then Sin is coming for Stormy. She is screaming. She's igniting the very air with fire, and she engulfs him in fire that isn't Talas.
Yeah.
I kept saying Talan. It's Talas. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he's, the description of this where he's like, he feels himself melting and he still throws himself on her as his body is literally
his
melting in the fire.
Bursting. It's like gross, but wraps his arms around her and throws them both off the cliff, that he's now moved high enough up the stairs that it's definitely a deadly fall.
And he's dead before he hits the ground, but his body lands on her and smashes her and she dies. The fire consumes both of them.
Yeah.
Another completely epic cinematic moment.
Mm-hmm.
Then Gessler gets to the top of the spire. He knows that Stormy has taken Sin down, knows that he's dead, sees the Forkerless Sail, who's there.
Now young too.
Yeah.
She's youthed up.
Yep. And she is like, what are you going to fight me with your fists? He's like, "I broke a guy's nose once." And she's like, "You can't stop me. What do you think you're even going to do? You suck." He's like, "Yeah, you're right."
She's like, "You suck. And also, you like waited too long. If you got here before, I was like so old, you could have like flicked me over. But now in this body, You got
now I got
nothing,
the
honey.
goods.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. You do with me what you will." And she's like, "Fine, I will dispose of you. I will give you the justice you so deserve. I will dispose of you." And he gets really close to her and then he punches her in the so fast in the nose, which is awesome because he was like, "I broke a guy's nose once." And then that's
So
his
great.
move. That's what he does.
This is all I got. And then he tries to go through for punch number 2 and it's blocked such that it shatters his shoulder.
Yeah, it's awesome because he had the element of surprise, but there was no way he was going to win this fight.
No.
There was no way.
Absolutely not.
Which is awesome because you see him like give his best shot and it's not good enough. And he's like, "Okay, well, that hurt. Now I'm mad and now I'm just going to kill you." Then Bent jumps in, the dog, bites her face, chews off the side of her face. She's mad now at the dog, grabs the dog, and, Gessler is like a crumpled mess on the floor, just broken and, lost his will to move. But he sees Bent getting squeezed by the Forkerless Sail, and he's like, "Nobody touches my dog."
I know. I love that he kind of has like 2 options of being like, I can try and give it one last ditch effort. I'm not going to kill her. I'm not going to take her out.
Yeah.
So rather than spending that on like an impotent effort, I'm going to do the one thing I can do and save this life of my puppy.
He just punches the arm that's holding the dog. So the dog is dropped. He like does this incredible strong punch that actually breaks Sister Reverence's arm. But it's not going to do much. She's still going to kill all the doggies. The second dog comes in, and then the way this like moves, and again, it feels very cinematic. We're cutting from shot to shot, we're going from POV to POV. the dog is like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to leap at her. And you just know the dog's not going to be enough to take down a forkless sail. But then you hear movement from the other side of the room. And guess who's here? The incredible friggin' Hulk.
I know.
It's like the Hulk walks in.
So Gessler punches her in the shoulder. She's like, whatever. She, I think, immediately kills Gessler. Like he gets like his head whipped back and dies. Puppy dogs are there, super pissed. And Hood walks in and no nonsense. There's not a drawn out thing. He's too powerful. He's too badass. Grabs her by her, or she goes to hit him. He stops her arm and immediately shatters the bones inside of the wrist. Grabs the wrist and just jangling her body around like a rag doll. I am sick of your justice.
I mean, incredible moment. Incredible. I totally was thinking of the Hulk, like bang, bang, bang. Had enough of your justice.
I know.
So
good.
Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing, climactic, thrilling, satisfying moment. He turns and he sees that the chains on the heart have broken away. It's free. It's open for the taking. And the Chagall assassin wings in, grabs it in his talon, and he's like, yes, go, take it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, really? Is that who we want to have it?
I don't know. The Chagall assassin sort of allegiances are a big question mark.
Yes. And Hood is like, via con Dios. You know,
I feel like Hood was like, I did what I came to do.
BT dubs. I didn't realize it when I say it, but via con Dios, literally.
I don't know.
Go with a god.
Oh.
Anyway. Anyway, yes. So then Hood just kind of stands there and looks out over the destruction that all this has wrought. The crippled god's heart has been taken away. He sees death. We cut back down. Bitterspring somehow survived. She's all bandaged up. She watches Tool, who leaves everybody behind, starts walking away. No one asks where he's going. There's this procession of people. All of our named characters are like headed toward the spire, but Tool walks a different direction. He walks past the city. He sees 3 figures in the distance. I'm already crying as I'm reading. I know who it is. I know it's the kids. He runs. He drops his sword. He's mortal again. He sees them. He's reunited with his children. They are so happy. He picks them up in his arms. They're telling him all the stories of being captured by a witch and a man who saved them. And Tool looks over and he sees one more person.
Oh, man.
That's when I start crying again. And I want to know how you felt about this. I mean, it's Hetan. She says, I have someone else's toes.
I know that sounds crazy, but I know it's true. I don't know where I am. I don't know what's happening. And just their family getting to be together again. And the part that struck me the most, I feel like, is the reparation of that relationship between him and Talk even, and everything they've been through. It just feels like having one family through all of it get to be whole after all the sacrifices that they made to try and get to this point. And him looking up and seeing Talk and saying, oh, I see you, brother.
Yeah, he just raises his hand, dead beyond the, still on his horse, unable to sort of be, like one is brought back to life, one is still in the realm of death. There's a impenetrable wall between them, but an acknowledgement. I was a blubbering mess as I am now. I mean, it was beautiful. My only question here is there's no explanation for why Hetan is there, or at least not yet. I don't know if there's more coming, but.
Oh, that's the body that Talk had.
That's the body. I didn't get it. It's even more beautiful. He brought the body. I'm an idiot.
When you were like, did you have any guesses about who the body was? I was like, I didn't. But then it became clear who it was.
I didn't put that together. I'm an idiot. It's even more beautiful.
Yeah.
He brought the body to. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to have gotten that. It was
So
beautiful.
he brings the body. He has this wrapped body. He clearly has at least this plan to bring Hatan back. I don't think he. Maybe he knew what Karsa was going to get up to make everybody mortal
Right.
again. Maybe not. I don't know. Talk knows Shadowthone's machinations. He probably knows more than other people about what's going to happen. So off screen he's already negotiated with Whiskey Jack to some degree, being like, let one go. And let her. Well, he must have known because he brought the body.
I feel so dumb for not
let the
putting that together.
rain fall and bring her with the god's power back to life. And so him then seeing
the gift. It's a gift.
Him seeing Tool now become mortal and being like, he's going to die up there. We're doing this whole thing. I just brought his body. I just brought his wife back to life. His kids are here. We have it here. Please save him. And Whiskey Jack then being like, you think we're going to say no? After all this, you think we're going to say no?
Well, I feel dumb for not getting all that because it's beautiful and it makes a scene that already hit me in the feels so much even more powerful.
Mm-hmm. As it's planned. Like they knew that this god was going to die. I didn't put together that he knew about it, but he must have known to bring the body to resurrect. But that does make me be like, if Hatan is up, we haven't then. I mean, Talk is still dead.
Yeah.
I just want to how much God blood, how many people are alive again? What's going on with everybody? It's crazy. But yeah, it's really, really beautiful. It just, through all of the darkness and suffering of the book, seeing anybody be able to experience the joy of that kind of reunion.
Right? It's Talk having compassion for his friend and doing everything he can, even from beyond the grave, to right those wrongs. Man. I just feel so dumb for not having put that together.
Book is
well,
good.
You got to see me experience it in real time. So good.
So good.
What a chapter.
What a chapter.
It's not the last chapter. We still have more.
Like, what can a denouement look like?
I mean, we still have all of Tavor to deal with.
I can't believe they were not in this chapter at all.
I know.
What is happening?
What is happening?
Oh, gosh.
All right. Well, should we read our quotes?
Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, so I don't know if we mentioned to everybody, we got long quotes. It was so hard to pare it down to it was either in a bunch of individual sentences that were the most resonant, or just kind of some of the more full scenes that really struck me.
Yeah.
So I've got one here that I already braced Jeff before we started recording. That is just a long thing that I'm going to read, and get over it. So this is Tool, the scene that we sort of brushed past earlier. And this was sort of primed by Stormy and Gessler saying, we want to send the Crippled God home. Home. The very word nearly drove Onos Toulon to his knees. Something was roaring in his skull. He had believed it to be the sound of his own rage, but now he could sense a multitude of voices in that cacophony. More than the unfettered thoughts of the Telanamos following him, more than the still distant conflagration that was the Ototteral dragon and the Alaint. No, what deafened him here was the unceasing echoes of terrible pain. This land, all the life that once thrived here, only to falter and suffer and finally vanish. And there upon that tower of rock, that cracked spire, was the core of a restless volcano, where the earth's blood coursed so close to the surface, in serpentine tracks found it round its fissured, hollowed base, another broken piece of a broken, shattered god, a being that had been writhing in torment for thousands of years, no different from the Telanamas, no different from us. The shadow of a throne. Is that not a cold, frightening place? And yet, Kellanved, do you truly offer succor? Dare you cast a shadow to shield us, to protect us, to humble us in the name of humanity? I once called you our children, our inheritors, Forgive my irony. For all the venal among your kind, I had thought, no matter. In his mind, he reached among his followers and found the one he sought. She was close, almost behind him. Bonecaster Bitterspring, of the second ritual, do you hear me? I do, First Sword. You are named a seer. Can you see what awaits us? I have no true gift of prophecy, First Sword. My talent was in reading people, that and nothing more. I have been an imposter for so long, I have no other way of being. Bitterspring, we are all imposters. What awaits us? What has always awaited us, she replied. Blood and tears. In truth, he'd no reason to expect anything else. Onos Toulon drew his flint sword round, dragging a jagged furrow through the dirt and stones. He lifted his gaze to the Malazans. Even the power of Toulon cannot penetrate the words raised by the Forcrolisail. Wards. Sorry. We cannot, therefore, rise in the midst of the enemy and their trenches. This will have to be a direct assault. We know that, the one named Gessler said. We shall fight for you, Onos Toulon said, and then he was silent, confused at the effect his words on these two men. Have I distressed you? Gessler shook his head. No, you greatly relieve us, First Sword. It is not that, it's just... And he shook his head. Now it's my turn to ask. Why? If by our sacrifice, yours and mine, said Onos Toulon, the pain of one life can be ended, if by our deaths this one can be guided home, we will judge this a worthy cause. This crippled God, he is a stranger to us all. It is enough that in the place he calls home, he is no stranger. Why should these words force tears from these two hardened soldiers? I do not understand. Onos Toulon opened his mind to his followers. You have heard. You have shared. This is the path your First Sword chooses. But I will not compel you, and so I ask, will you fight at my side this day? Bitterspring replied, First Sword, I am chosen to speak for all. We have seen the sun rise. It may be that we shall not see it set. Thus we have us this one day to find the measure of our worth. It is perhaps less time than many might possess, but so too is it more than many others are privileged to know. One day to see who and what we are. One day to find meaning in our existence. First Sword, we welcome the opportunity you have given us. Today we shall be your kin. Today we shall be your brothers and sisters. To this, Onos Toulon could find no words. He floundered for what seemed like a long, long time. And then from the depths of his being, there arose a strange feeling, a sense of recognition. Then you shall be my kin on this day. And among my kin, am I not at last home? He had spoken these words out loud, and turning, he saw surprise on the faces of the two Malazans. Onos Toulon stepped forward. Malazans, make it known to your Kachain Shamal. Each in our time, we two peoples have warred against the Forcrolisail. On this day, for the very first time, we shall do so as allies. 15 paces back, the Kel hunter straightened, then lifted high both swords, and Onos Toulon felt its reptilian eyes fixed solely upon him, and he raised his own weapon. One more gift, then, on this final day. I see you, Kachain Shamal, and I call you brother.
Yeah, that scene got me when I read it. Just the coming together of all these historically warring factions for common cause, and it's just so beautiful.
It's one of those ones where like there's so many little bits that without the context of it all, it was hard to pull a single quote from it.
Yeah.
But the idea of what home is, the idea of wherever you call home, you're not a stranger, and that's enough for me to want to take care of you. And it just feels, it's one of those moments where the fictions of this book touch so close to the realities I wish could be true, of people coming together and not seeing differences, but recognizing that these are people with homes and a way of being loved and a way of being known, that even if they are a stranger to what I understand, that doesn't make them less worthy of the compassion that we can offer them. It's so frustrating that it doesn't feel like reality.
I agree.
I just love the way the book speaks to that and sort of paints these people coming together in a way that feels so hopeful.
Well said. Well said. I have a quote from, this is Bruce Beddick, kind of talking in a similar way. Some futures hold such promise as to convince you they can be nothing more than dreams, delusions built on wishful thoughts. You walk the steps of your life, and always that dream beckons, that dream waits. You don't know if it can ever be made real. You don't know that even should you somehow stumble upon it, you won't find it less than it was, less than it could have been. If only you could have kept that distance, kept it just outside arm's reach, forever shining, forever unsullied by the all too real flaws of your own making. The idea of the thing sometimes is better than the thing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
We have another one that kind of dovetails into itself. Did you have anything other than that one?
No.
Okay.
Because
Well,
I
then
knew
I think I start
highlighted
that.
pages and pages. I was like, ah.
I know. All right. So I start, and then you'll pick up. This will be
I pick up
group
at
read.
a broken.
That's right.
Yeah, cool.
Take my glasses off for this one. Eyes half closed, he experienced again the echo of the life he had watched seething back and forth in the in the day now gone. He wondered at all those lives, the way few would meet the gazes of their fellows, as if crowds demanded willful autonomy, when the truth was they were all in it together, all these people, facing much the same struggles, the same fears. And yet it seemed each one was determined to survive them alone, or with but a few kin and friends offering paltry allegiance. Perhaps they each believed themselves unique, like a knot stone in the center of the world's mill wheel. But the truth was, there were very few who could truly make a claim to such a pivotal existence. After all, there was only one Karsa Orlong, standing here, across from a modest temple with stained walls and faded friezes, standing here with the fate of the world in his hands. He had known a time in chains. He had lived in that wretched house, his hands closed into fists against the slavery in which so many insisted he reside, meek, uncomplaining, accepting of his fate. He thought back to the citizens he'd seen here. So many had been dragging chains. So many had walked bowed and twisted by their weight. So many had with their own hands hammered tight the shackles, believing that this was how it was supposed to be, sweating at another person's behest, the muscles and will given away and now owned by someone claiming to be their better in all things. Year after year, a lifetime of enslavement. This was the conversation of the civilized, and it repulsed Karsa Orlong to the very core of his being. Who was the slave master? Nothing but a host of cruel ideas, nothing but a deceitful argument, a sleight of hand, deception between things of value, where one wins and the other always loses. He had heard bartering, had witnessed bargains made, and it all had the illusion of fairness, and it all played out as if it was a ritual deemed necessary, made iron like a natural law. But where was the joy in that ceaseless struggle? Where was the proper indolence of the predator? And just how many fangs needed pulling to make this precious civilization? Of course, not everyone suffered the same emasculation. And this was where all the lies finally gathered. The hungriest maws, fangs dripping, hid in the cool upper rooms of the estates, in the fountained gardens of the rich. And these ones, oh, they indulged all the indolence they desired, while the crowds of their lessers looked on, wide-eyed and ever eager for details.
A broken and suffering god in chains had haunted him. It had flung weapons in his path. It had whispered all manner of enticements. It had, in all its desperate pain, rushed down 1,000 tracks only to find not a moment of blessed relief. Carson now understood that god. The times that he had been chained, he had felt that terrible panic, that animal frenzy to escape. No mortal, human, or Toblakai should ever feel such feelings. Nor, he knew now, should a god. He cannot know compassion from whom compassion has been taken. He cannot know love with love denied him. But he will know pain when pain is all that is given him. Compassion, love. It was not civilization that birthed these gentle gifts, though its followers might claim otherwise. Nor was civilization the sweetest garden for such things to blossom in, though those trapped within it might imagine it so. No, as far as he could see, civilization was a madman's mechanism that, for all its good intentions, ended up ensnaring the gentle gifts, stifling them, leaving them to wander mazes only to die alone and in the dark. A mechanism, a cage work, and in its chaos the slaves bred like flies, until the world itself groaned under the assault of their appetites. You have made many vows, Karsa Orlong. A civilization was the means by which too many people could live together despite their mutual hatred. And those moments where love and community burgeoned forth, the cynics descended like vultures eager to feed, and the sky soured, and the moment died away.
Man, incredible. It feels like a thesis statement for the series in a lot of ways, and it's just heart-wrenching.
It is. And
that line about, a civilization was the means by which too many people could live together despite their mutual hatred. Woof. Woof.
This is another one where it's hard not to just pull the next 2 pages, because the way that this sort of comes around, and this living in Karsa's head through the rest of this, like what happens right after this is, Manug comes up to him and is like, "Hey dog, you've been trying to do a lot of things," and Karsa being like, "I'll show you what." Like the alternative to civilization is this caring, and I'll take you into this village of one.
Villages, not cities. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I'm sorry if you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear the dogs and doorbells and clocks and everything.
Okay. I know. It's Christmas time.
Holiday chaos. Trying to this touching scene. It's like,
That's Bent. That's just Bent coming to save the day.
Immersion over here.
One more chapter to go. And again, not sure when that episode will land, but we're going to do our best to get it recorded sometime soon. But I hope all of you out there have a wonderful holiday season. Mm-hmm. Hopefully this was a little bit of a surprise drop for our getting this episode out in time for the holidays. And we hope that you're enjoying this read along with us, and getting here to the finish line has been so much fun.
Yeah.
So thank you, Lana.
Thank you, Jeff.
Happy holidays, everybody. And through all of it, don't forget to dance.
When the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality, open up those pages, it's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your